Are you looking to learn about Shungite? My name is Sheila from Satin Crystals, and today we are discussing Shungite, its metaphysical properties to its scientific properties, and answering your top 5 questions about this stone. So stay tuned. The top 5 questions that we are going to answer about Shungite for you today are: what are the different types of Shungite? Is Shungite water really safe to drink? What are the crystal healing properties of Shungite? How do you care for your Shungite? And is Shungite toxic? Why is it staining your skin black? What is Shungite? Shungite is a black mineral, highly unique for its high carbon content. This gives it an electric conductivity, which is unique to gemstones. Shungite comes in a very dark matte black, all the way to a shinier silvery black, depending on how much carbon it has. So depending on what type of Shungite you have, which we will be discussing in your first question and answer, so stay tuned. Shungite usually comes from the Karelia region of Russia. This is where most Shungite is found. This borders the country of Finland, but Shungite is only found on the Russian side of the border. It is found in other areas of Russia, but only in small deposits. And you can also find small deposits of Shungite in other countries of the world, but they are not significant deposits, and they haven't been tested or tried as well as the Russian material has. So if you have real Shungite from Karelia, Russia, you are on the right track. What are the different types of Shungite? So Shungite is all one mineral, but there are different grades of Shungite that you can find. I'm going to be talking about the 3 most popular types of Shungite. There are others, but they are not as good quality as the first 3. So the first type is type 1. It is also known as elite or noble Shungite. It is the most rare. It has the most carbon content, over 90%. And it has a metallic silver compact kind of look to it. It is also the most brittle of the stones, so you will not find it in polished jewelry or polished shapes unless it has been stabilized with other material. So keep that in mind when you are shopping. Now, carbon content. So carbon content, unfortunately, cannot be tested by us at home. It has to be done with scientific tools. So when you look at articles on how much carbon content type 1 has versus type 3, you will find a varying range. So just take this as a rough guide of the different types and don't worry so much about the exact percentage of carbon. So type 1, noble or elite Shungite is type 1. Then we have type 2 Shungite. And in the marketing world, it is called Petrovsky Shungite. It is more of a gray, a matte gray color. It is somewhere in between type 1 and type 3, which I have here in my hands. It has less carbon than your type 1. But it is also quite brittle, and it is also quite rare. You will not find it in that polished version unless it has been stabilized. Now, the one that you will most likely find is type 3 Shungite. This is also known as black or common Shungite. It is more readily available, and it has the least amount of carbon compared to the other 2. Making it a little bit more stable so you can polish it into jewelry and different stone shapes. It also has the most distinct inclusions. So you might find clear quartz, white dolomite, gold pyrite within your common Shungite. Now, those are the popular 3, but you will also find type 4, type 5, the carbon content diminishing. But now you know the most common 3 types of Shungite. Is shungite really safe to drink? Shungite is popularly used in water treatment methods because of its high carbon content. It helps to absorb those heavy metals that are toxic to the water, and it also has antibacterial properties. However, it also can leach out heavy metals from the stone that is already absorbed in the stone into the drinking water. So what you want to do, according to studies that have been done on shungite in drinking water, is to cleanse out the stone before using it as a filter. So at least 5 days, you want to place it in water, have it leach out those heavy metals, keep changing the water until 5 to more days later, where the stone itself is not containing those heavy metals. You can use it in the future for your water content. So it is safe, but it is also not safe if you don't use it in the right way. If you love learning about shungite, make sure that you're subscribed to the Satin Crystals channel, as we do have some more videos about shungite coming soon, including the real versus fake shungite video, an important thing to know, and the shungite guided meditation. Along with those, we have a whole series of all your favorite gemstones for your educational purposes and for your spiritual well-being. Thank you for subscribing and for liking this video. How do you use shungite in your crystal healing practice? Now, there's many ways that you can use shungite. I'm going to give you a few examples here. You can find even more on the shungite meanings page at Satin Crystals. First of all, shungite is popularly used as a shielding stone from evil eye energy and from EMF rays. It is great as a guardian crystal. It is also great for clearing the mind of unwanted thoughts, especially those ones that are blocking you from progressing in your life path. So a few examples of how you can use your shungite in your practice are: you can keep your shungite pyramids in the money corner of your space. Just check out the feng shui map. You can see where your money corner is, and this will help to stabilize your finances. So if you're stressed about money, have shungite in your money corner. You can dowse with a shungite pendulum to access the answers from your subconscious mind. This is where all the answers lie, bypassing that ego, which may have different answers for you. You can meditate with your shungite spheres in hand to create that protective barrier as you are going out into the astral travels. If you are moving into a new space, or if you feel like your space has been compromised with some unwanted energies, you can sweep your area with a shungite wand, cleanse the area with your shungite wand. You can also grid your area, the corners of your spaces, with shungite stones for protection. Shungite is a very popular stone to use to protect against EMF radiation. So all those frequencies that are toxic coming from your electronics, and these days we are surrounded by electronics, you can place shungite stones near them. For example, near your computer. If you have a cell phone, people paste the little shungite plates onto their cell phone directly. Whatever you have that is emitting those rays, shungite is known for reducing that toxic energy. You can wear your shungite jewelry to create that protective barrier so that you can go out throughout your day doing your business without worrying about that negative energy being absorbed into your aura. Have the shungite there to protect you instead. Whenever you're feeling stressed and you feel like your mind is clogged, use your shungite polished stones, like these tumbles here. You can place them, they're very portable, in your pocket or your purse. and just rub them like worry stones. Now do keep in mind that they will stain your hand black. We will be discussing that soon. You can use your Shungite plates as chargers for your crystals, for your stones, to charge them up of their energy. You can also use these plates to place directly on your chakras while you're doing crystal layout work. You can use your Shungite as gemstone elixirs, but as we discussed, make sure that the Shungite is cleansed of those heavy metals before you are using it in your water. Or you can use the indirect method, which we have instructions for on our gemstone elixir article at Satin Crystals. Those are a few ways on how you can use your Shungite stones in your energy healing practice. If you have additional ideas, we always love to hear them. Post them here so everybody can benefit. Now the next question is, how do you care for your Shungite stones? So Shungite, it can go in water. You can run it under tap water. You can do a soak of Shungite in water. But if you have a more brittle piece like Elite Shungite, you may not want to do that. So just to be on the safe side, just use a soft cloth, clean it of its dust. You also want to make sure that you are keeping your Shungite away from anything that is harder than a 3.5 on the Mohs scale of hardness. And that is pretty low on the Mohs scale, so it is a pretty sensitive stone to chips and scratches. So if you want to avoid this, make sure that your Shungite is kept separately from those items. You always want to make sure with all of your gemstones that they are not undergoing any harsh conditions, any banging, especially if you're wearing jewelry, you're constantly using your hands, they're being dinged and so. So make sure that your jewelry is being protected. When the Shungite is polished, it is a little bit more sturdy than the raw stuff. So just keep in mind of what kind of stone you have. Now, if you want to know more about energetically cleansing, charging, and programming your Shungite and other stones, we have a very popular crystal care video at Satin Crystals. I'll link it here as well. Is Shungite toxic? Why is it turning your skin black? So besides the drinking water, which we already discussed, where Shungite could be toxic in that it's releasing those heavy metals into the water. Without the water, Shungite is perfectly safe. You can handle it in its raw form, in its polished forms. The more polished it is, the less it'll rub off onto your skin. So what the black stuff is that it's the carbon that is in the stone, and it is rubbing onto your skin, onto your clothing, onto paper, whatever you have around you. It is a good indication that you do have real Shungite. It doesn't guarantee that it is Shungite, but it is a good step towards that. We will be discussing that in real versus fake Shungite, so make sure to stay tuned for that in the next video. So yes, it will rub off onto your skin, especially if you have a raw piece like this, but a lot of people embrace this black powder as a anti-inflammatory, antibacterial content, and you'll find Shungite in a lot of beauty products these days as well. So regardless if the Shungite powder is beneficial to your skin or not, at least it is not toxic, so it won't hurt you in that way. Just make sure that you are not sensitive, or your skin is not sensitive or has any allergies to that Shungite product itself. But Shungite is perfectly safe if you are not drinking it without cleansing it. Now that you know a little bit more about Shungite, are you somebody who could benefit from having this stone in your collection? If you can relate to one or more of these statements, then Shungite is for you. First of all, if you are seeking a stone to protect you from the evil eye energy, use Shungite. If you want to create a protective shield from negative energy, you can wear Shungite throughout your day. If you are seeking a stone to protect you from those EMF rays, use Shungite at your electronics. If you are looking to clear your mind of that foggy cloud, use Shungite at your third eye chakra. If you want that grounding energy to the earth, use Shungite at your root chakra. If you enjoy a lightweight stone, Shungite is much lighter than other gemstones of its same size, so you can wear it, you can hold it without that weight. If you just love wearing black, Shungite is the perfect fit for you. And if you are looking for that rare, unique electrical stone, use Shungite. We will be talking about the electric conductivity in the next video. Thank you for joining us on the overview of Shungite. We have a lot more in the questions and answers of Shungite at Satin Crystals. And while you're there, make sure to sign up for the Satin Crystals VIP. We send out gemstone related emails every single week. As always, I thank you for subscribing to our channel and liking this video. If you want to buy real Shungite stones and jewelry, we also have those waiting for you in the Shungite collection at Satin Crystals.